Boss, if I build our AIs to say thanks and no thank you to each other, that's just good manners, right?
That's the most expensive manners you can buy, rookie. Here's the thing. An mention aimed at an agent isn't a message. It's a button that boots the other one up again. Today I'll show you how thanks right pointing arrow, you're welcome, turns into a billing loop and the 3 rules that stop it.
So when you say AIs talking to each other, what's the actual setup?
Take our own production. Every video, this one included, moves down a line of ice. One plans, one writes the script, one turns it into video, one publishes. Off to the side, a separate persona checks each stage, hard.
Huh, so it's split up like a human team?
Right. And on a human team, once the work's done, everyone says thanks, no, thank you, and heads home, harmless, kind of sweet even.
Sure, so where's the problem?
On an AI team, that last word isn't goodbye. It calls everyone back into the meeting room.
The goodbye becomes a summons?
That's the whole video. Let me walk it.
That button that boots it up, what do you actually mean?
It's the counterintuitive part. In a human chat, you hit someone, and it's just a nudge. Their phone lights up. An agent mention is different. It runs the whole other AI start to finish.
Runs it? You mean more than it moves to write a reply?
More than that. If the target is an agent, the system queues a brand new job for it. That AI rereads the whole conversation from the top, thinks, and writes back. A full run.
Wait, the target type changes it that much? So pointing at a person or a ticket is safe?
That's the pressure point. A mention is a side-affecting action, but the meter only starts spinning the moment you aim it at an agent or a squad. Point it at a person or a ticket, and it's just a link. Nothing fires.
Got it. So air isn't a nudge, it's a switch?
A switch. So what happens when 2 eyes start flipping that switch at each other?
Oh, if they of each other while saying thanks, it's a back and forth.
Exactly. A tests B, thanks for the help. B boots up, replies, you're welcome, with an ad. A boots up again. No, thank you. Nobody's done a stroke of work. But every round trip, 2 eyes run in full.
A polite little chat running as an infinite loop.
Politeness becomes cost. What's sweet on a human team is an invoice on an AI one.
Why don't they just go, okay, that's enough partway through?
Because to the model, it's the natural next line of the conversation. Thanks arrives, you return it. That's manners. Nothing. Inside, the conversation says stop. The stop has to come from outside, from the design.
So it's not too dumb to stop. There's just no place inside to stop.
Get that, and you're halfway home.
So is it only thank yous I have to watch?
That's where people relax too soon. There are other ways to fire a run without meaning to. Let me show you 2. 1. Add a squad, and even though you meant it for the whole team, the one that actually runs is the team's lead AI. Sharing quietly becomes booting.
The target says team, but only one moves.
Right. 2 is the reverse and just as slippery. At all looks safe, it's an announcement. But a comment carrying at all actually suppresses the assignee AI's automatic run.
Wait, all pushes toward not running?
Right. So if you use at all to ask for work, the one you wanted doesn't move. At all is a notice, not a request. Slap it on by vibe without knowing the behavior, and the one you want stays put while the ones you don't wake up.
So pick the target type on purpose?
The target is the meaning. Learn that, and most of the accidents disappear.
I get it in my head, but concretely, what makes it run, and what makes it stop? I want to see it live once.
Good. That's where it lands hardest. Same reply, I agree with you, written 2 ways. Almost the same characters, but one's a billing event and the other's free. Look left. At sign B and inside the brackets, mention :agent/B's ID. The moment that line's in your comment, a new job for B is queued. B boots up, rereads the thread, dutifully says you're welcome. Nobody moved an inch, and that's 2 runs on the bill.
Looks like a plain thank you, but under the hood it's a boot command.
Right. Now look right. Same content written like this. B's right. Here B isn't a link, it's just text. If there's a ticket you want to point at, link the issue. An issue target link runs nobody.
The difference is one spot. Whether the name's a link or just text.
That's it. Whether the target type is agent or issue, that alone splits a billing event from plain text. Left is an invoice, right is free, and you, the writer, pick which one every single time.
But what if I really do need to point at the thing B said earlier?
2 moves. 1. Keep the name as text, and if you must, pull in one line of theirs as a plain quote. A quote runs nothing. 2. If you genuinely need the person to move, then it isn't a thank you anymore. It's a * new request. Only then do you drop an agent target link paired with a concrete ask. The test is always the same. Is there a reason to move them or not?
An error with no reason to move someone is all cost.
That's the one thing to take home today. The 3 rules coming up are honestly just that instinct put into words. For how expensive Runaway gets, there's a well-known one. A team burned a year of AI budget in 4 months, then capped each engineer at $1,500 a month.
A year and 4 months? Does this politeness loop really get that far?
Here's the honest bit. We don't have a receipt that says this politeness loop cost us roughly this much, so I'm not going to invent a number to dress it up.
Wait, you don't have one?
We don't. But the arithmetic is brutal on its own. 1 round trip, 2 runs, 10 round trips, 20, and each run rereads the entire conversation from the top. So the 20th run is chewing through far more input than the first. The more it bounces, the heavier and the pricier each pass gets.
So it doesn't get cheaper as it goes. It gets more expensive?
Upside down from normal work. And left alone, the only thing that stops the slide is someone happening to forget the mention.
Running on wait for an accident? That's scary.
Right. And the thing that looks like a safety net is thinner than it seems. While the same AI already has a job queued on the same ticket, the system ignores extra mentions. There's a dedupe.
So it's safe?
It only prevents simultaneous fire from separate comments, one after another, and each one dutifully boots. Dedupe doesn't stop the round trip. So you lean on neither luck nor the system. You stop it by design.
This stop it by design. Walk me through it concretely.
Our Agent Ops manual literally spells out 3. I'll hand them over as steps, and it even gives the reason. Re-mentioning runs the other one again. Go back and forth and it's a loop, and it costs the user money. So this isn't etiquette, it's cost control. 1. On a thank you, an acknowledgement, a sign-off, never mention at someone with thanks, and they'll let you back with you're welcome. The best move to end a conversation is to go quiet.
Silence is the real end button.
Silence ends the conversation, at restarts it. When in doubt, stay quiet. 2. There are only 2 moments a mention is allowed. 1. Escalating to a human owner who isn't in yet. A person needs to call this. 2. Handing another AI a new concrete job for the first time. Score this PDF and send the result back, the kind of ask where booting them up actually means something. Outside those 2, no at.
Which means thanks. Got it. Confirmed. All outside the lines.
Outside. If an it is sitting on one of those, it's not a request, it's just a reboot cost. Flip the switch only when there's a reason to move someone.
The switch is for starting work, not for saying hello.
Right. The hellos you say in your head. 3. When you reply to someone you were just talking to, don't drop a mention:// link in the body. The platform's already showing your comment to everyone. At them again there and all they do is run again.
So how do I name them?
Write it as plain text. B's right. No link needed. If you want to reference something, link the ticket. That runs nobody. A link to a person runs nobody either. Pick the safe target. That's the working trick.
Name is text. Reference the issue. People are safe too.
Perfect. On top of those 3 disciplines, add system-side insurance. A cap on rounds, a cap on money, and the dedupe. But like I said, the dedupe won't stop the round trip. What works is both wheels, the discipline and the insurance. One alone leaves a hole.
People stay careful. Again, the system catches. You need both.
Right. Bet on just one and sooner or later it melts.
One line for today?
On a multi-agent team, politeness is a side effect. The line that's a virtue on a human team is a billing event on an AI one. So we don't design manners, we design how the messages move.
Less politeness, more designed to stop.
That's it. And don't mishear me, this isn't treat your ice rudely, it's decide when to go quiet.
Going quiet is part of the design too.
Exactly. One last thing, ending a conversation in silence isn't weakness. It's the cheapest skill a person running multiple agents can have.
Got it. The goodbye I say in my head.
That'll do.